Joining us now, Marc Short, White House Legislative Affairs Director. Marc, welcome to the program. I'm going to get to the substantive issues on trade and all the rest of it in a moment, but look, I'm sorry, I have to ask you about Comey's book. A series of personal attacks. I know you wanted to save the president's response for later, but I have to ask you, how are you responding to this?
Well, Stuart, I think that the president's tweet on this speaks for itself. I think that there are a lot of Democrats calling for Jim Comey's firing until the president fired him, and then they decide they like him. We've rarely had an FBI director who leaked more to the press and has been more concerned about his own public image. So I'm sure that the mainstream media will be fascinated with every account that he puts out in the next couple of days. But this administration is going to stay focused on delivering an agenda that continues to make sure unemployment stays at the lowest it's been in 17 years, and unemployment claims yesterday reached the lowest point in 44 years.
Okay, got it. I want to talk to you about the nomination of Mike Pompeo. Confirmation hearings as Secretary of State, they started yesterday. Senator Rand Paul says he won't vote to confirm him. Some Democrats are skeptical. Are you still confident, very, very confident, that he becomes the next Secretary of State?
Yes, we are, Stuart. Mike Pompeo graduated #1 in his class at West Point. He graduated magna cum laude from Harvard Law School. He's been an integral part of this administration. He's done a phenomenal job with the CIA, rebuilding morale there. It's exactly what the State Department needs. There's a lot of State Department employees and diplomats anxious for him to be there. Unfortunately, in this town, politics often gets in the way of somebody who's incredibly credentialed, but we're very confident he'll be confirmed.
Now, for the benefit of our viewers, I'm just going to run through the president's tweet this morning on possibly rejoining TPP. Here's what he said: would only join TPP if the deal was substantially better than the deal offered to President Obama. We already have bilateral deals with 6 of the 11 nations at TPP and are working to make a deal with the biggest of those nations, which is Japan. Now, Marc, this is quite a reversal, isn't it? Is this just more of the endless negotiating that the president does on trade?
You know, Stuart, what I see is he pulled out of TPP in the first couple of days of administration because he thought it was a bad deal. He still thinks it was a bad deal. In many cases, it was unfair because other nations were not provided the same access to our markets as they were dictating we had to under TPP. The president is saying, though, and talking to farmers who feel like that some of the trade conversations with China has impacted commodity prices, who want to have the ability to export to more markets, that he's willing to entertain a conversation about it, but it has to be a very different deal. And I don't think that's different than what he said in Davos. It's what he said yesterday was to say, have Lighthizer and Kudlow take another look. But that's as far as he went. I think it's important to note that just today, exciting announcement about us opening new pork markets to Argentina. That's big news, and that shows the president continues to advocate for policies that allow American producers, farmers, and companies to have exposure to more and more markets for our products.
Yeah, you've just got this deal with Argentina on exporting American pork to Argentina. That's a bilateral deal, right? That's Argentina, the United States. That's precisely the kind of deal that the president wants more of, isn't it?
Absolutely, Stuart. That's 100% right. First time since 1992 that we have that market open to American pork products. But you're right. The president has always said, I can negotiate better deals for the American people in bilateral negotiations as opposed to these large multinational negotiations. And that was one of the original concerns about TPP. He's allowed Kudlow and Lighthizer to take another look, and we'll see where that goes.
He doesn't really want to go back into TPP, does he?
Stuart, there are a lot of concerns about TPP, but it depends on how it can be renegotiated.
But it would take a vast renegotiation to satisfy President Trump, wouldn't it?
I think we've already seen vast renegotiations in the first 15 months, and a lot of things that now you even see in China express a willingness to open up their markets to American automobiles. So I'm not going to undercut the president's ability to have significant negotiation progress.
How about NAFTA? We hear that progress is being made on a brand new NAFTA. Has that been completely and radically renegotiated?
I think that Ambassador Lighthizer has been pointing on that. Hopefully we'll have some news in the coming weeks on that. But everything we hear is positive as far as how the deal is improving for Americans.
Okay. Marc Short, right there at the White House. Thanks for joining us, sir. Appreciate it.
Stuart, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.